I am so happy to see you, and I am. This book is fantastic. It's getting great reviews. It comes out tomorrow, and it's heartbreaking, and it's inspiring at the same time. It is called Promise Me, Dad, and explain to everyone. It's just a piece of. It's not a memoir. It's a certain time in your life.
I wanted people to know about what I'm going to sound like a typical dad, but I wanted people to know what a remarkable son my son, Beau Biden, was. He was, well, my dad used to have an expression. He'd say, never complain and never explain. I can honestly say his entire life, never heard the kid once complain. He was a decorated war veteran, came back from Iraq for a year, spent time in Kosovo volunteering to put up their system. He was the Attorney General of the state of Delaware. And I wanted to write about what an incredible man he was and what a relationship he had with his brother, a year and a day younger, and his sister, and how he really built this family of mine. And then I also wanted to, you know, a lot of you have been through some tough times, and your parents have. Some of you maybe have lost a brother, sister, husband, wife, son, daughter. And I wanted to give people reason to hope. And there is, you know, if you can find purpose in your life and you can turn the loss of the person you love into devoting your time to what they would be doing were they still alive. So I hope people get a sense of purpose out of it.
Well, they will, because it's a beautiful book. It's getting great reviews, like I said, and you wrote it. You wrote this so much faster than Obama is still working on his book, and he's not going as fast. He's still working on his book, isn't he?
Well, he is, but he's a great and gifted writer. And he said, look, Joe, I'd written another book before that for a while was on the bestseller list 20-some years ago. And I had forgotten how much time I had put in to write the book. And so he said, pick a place to go and spend the next just every day in a disciplined way. So for the most of May, June, and July, I spent between 8 and 15 hours a day writing the book. And it turned out to be the way to do it because you know how the brain works. You know, you're engaged in the willing suspension of disbelief. I was writing the book, and I write about my boy, and I'd say, well, this is what Beau said to me. I'm sorry. The first interview I've done with it. I say to my son, well, Beau said this to me. And he said, Dad, he couldn't have said that. He couldn't speak for the last 2 months. He had that tube down his throat, Dad. And what you find yourself doing is putting the bad, really bad memories out of your mind. And you want to look at them. I want to think of him as this beautiful kid in the back of the book, or this strong major in the United States Army, or the guy introducing me at the National Convention. And so, but it was a catharsis in the sense that, you know, I wanted to be completely honest, but not maudlin. None of this is intended to be, you know, so many of you have gone through things as bad or worse than me, and maybe without the incredible help I had. There's so many people today, Ellen, you know it better than I, you have such empathy, that get up every morning, put one foot in front of the other, and wonder how in God's name do they do it? Yeah. But they do it. Yeah. And so it's meant to hopefully provide some hope. And the Promise Me, Dad, was Beau and Hunter are my best friends, and my wife always says, Joe, you got to get some friends. No, for real, for the last 25 years, because I kept waiting for the day that they'd go out to play golf, or they'd go skiing, or they'd go to the movie and not invite me. No, you think I'm joking. I really mean it. And it never happened. It never happened.
That shows how cool you are, that your son still wanted to hang out with you. That's what that
shows. So what he kept saying was, he said, promise me. He said, Dad, I'm going to be all right no matter what happens. But Dad, give me your word as a Biden. Promise me you'll be all right. Promise me, Dad. And what he meant was that he was worried that, not that I would give up on the family, but that I'd withdraw and not continue to fight for the things I'm passionate about. And so that's the essence of the book, Promise Me Dad. And I'm trying to keep his promise.
And you are keeping his promise.